We are going to do some solo hunting on Timbergold trails in the Hunter Classic. Just testing, making sure sound is working, sharing out some links, and getting ready to rock and roll. Good to see you, Bornana. I've decided it's time for me to get back into my hunting and fishing games. I've been taking a break from them because they were starting to get a little monotonous, and now it is time to get back to it. Hey, Blue Chester. Howdy, howdy. Decided I'm going to do some classic. Itching for a round of Timbergold trails. Check my equipment here. I should be rocking my recurve and my lever action 30-06. I am. I've got my Basante pistol in case of a close encounter. We have got some Rocky Mountain elk scent and our elk collar to attract wolves. There is our deer grunt call and our mule deer. Let's go ahead and see here. There's our elk bugle collar. Get my face painted up here. There we go. And just tuck that away and make room for something else like my elk spray. Should be good for arrows. Yeah. If you're still grinding to do the unlocks on Call of the Wild, you've got to be seeing lots of sign, and that's got to have you just hankering to poke a hole in something. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fast travel to my tent. I'm going to come down here to my trapper tent that I've got near this little pond. So we'll come in here, and then once I've sat this stand for a bit, I'm going to travel up along the river and cut across to this location here, and then I will probably cut down to the lake and see if I can pick up any grizzly in this area here. All right. Don't have enough camping supplies to travel that far. Well, let's get some camping supplies. What the hell? I should have camping supplies. Equipment. Camping supplies. There we go. Exceeds maximum capacity. Well, up ears, pal. What are we doing here? Don't need that many arrows. It's got it. All right. Let's do this thing. Oh, and we've got us a mule deer right off the bat. He's down by the lake. It's perfect. Let's hit a crouch. Let's get our scent suppressor on. Let's head for the stand. Should be able to slip up to the stand, set a call and a patch. Sounds like we might have wolves around too. Nice foggy early Rocky Mountain morning. Yep, Twitch is behaving. Thanks, Jester. I appreciate you checking for me. Yeah, I hear wolves woofing and playing. I figured I'm going to try to trifecta this morning. I'm going to see if I can take a mule deer, a Rocky Mountain elk, and a grizzly bear. And okay, just making sure I had got my scent suppressor on. Yeah, there's a couple things in Call of the Wild that I miss from Classic. I miss being able to draw on the map. I miss X to look around freely. And there's a stand right up there. I'm just going to ease right down here. Meters. I want another 5 meters here. Yeah, he's working his way across. All right. Right here. That's for elk. There we go. There's a grunt call and our spray. Should be coming in from that way. I think I'm gonna swap seats here. Yeah. The firearms feel tremendously underpowered in Call of the Wild. That's right. You come on this way, buddy. It's cool. We can drop 3 dots now. He's a good long ways out. Probably headed towards the other watering hole, so he might not put in an appearance over here. We've got an animal carcass down somewhere. And here are the crows. And we don't see any sign of him after a bit. We may see if we can sneak our way over to the other water hole. It does seem to be going in that direction. There we go. Turn my space heater down. It's roasting me out. Oh, yeah, they're out there. In fact, they're in the same general neighborhood. So that may be why he pushed down to the water over there, because he's getting nervous because of the wolves. That's the sound a baby elk makes. We'll see if maybe we can draw the wolves over here. Could also draw in a female elk. Because I have not heard that buck again. I generally don't hunt the wolves. Got a lot of admiration for them as a species, and they get the short end of the stick in just about every video game out there. They turn them into these psychotic, bloodthirsty killers. And this is one of the few games where they behave like wolves, you know. But then they turn around and in Call of the Wild, and they turn them into a bunch of psychotic, bloodthirsty killers again. So I don't get it. Yeah, I think that buck moved on. I think he got a whiff of those wolves, and he headed towards the second water hole. Of course, he was a long way out, so if he was on his way, it'd take him a good long time to get over here. Fog should burn off here shortly. Should have set my patch right at those white flowers. It's about 25 meters. Gonna give it about 5 more minutes, and if I don't get some sort of indication one way or another about anything out there, probably hop down and start moving. We've got about 15 minutes until the fog burns off. Starting to thin. Oh, hello. Where are you? It's a male. He's over on the far corner there. Here's the one and only Hawkeye. See, we're picking up his indicator, but I'm not seeing him. Where are you, pal? Fog's making it a bit tough. Where are you, pal? And we've lost his indicator, so he must have been moving up into the hillside. Damn it. Everything's everywhere except for where I am. Yeah, so he must have come along the side of the hill and then gone up over the ridge, because we've lost all our indicators. Yeah, it's looking like this spot's going to quiet out, so if I hop down, I've got to decide whether I'm going to hop down and start up the river, or I'm going to hop down and come across to the other lake. Yeah, that mule deer definitely moved on. I think he scented those wolves and headed out. And then I think the wolves have moved on because they scented that grizzly bear and moved out. Yeah, he's headed up that hill. He's headed up that hill. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to head to the other lake. See if we can get eyes on him. So like I say, my goal was mule deer, elk, grizzly bear. And if he's a male, he should be a good one. Queen Anne's lace. I'm wearing forest camo, so want to get in the tree line. See what we got here for tracks. Probably be the wolves. Yep. They went that way. Let's see if I can do an intercept on this bear. Not seeing the crows. Not sure where that carcass is, but I would imagine it's over here someplace if this is the wolves were. Yeah. The bears and the wolves used to just like, they'd walk into the water and they'd just like walk along the bottom. It was funny as hell. About 100 meters over to where we last heard him call. See if we can pick up his trail. All right, change of plans. Likely be on a good course. The bear probably will go up and cross the road and go up the hillside. I think we got somebody's tracks here. Oh, by golly, yep. Yeah, so he came from this way, so he'll be headed up that way. Actually, he headed down to the water. There's a mule deer we heard call. So we got lots of possibilities down here. He's not a very big one. Yeah, he was actually outward bound from the lake. I'm not sure where he went, but here's something. Oh, there he is right there. Give him a moment to get that out of his system and just sit this trunk in case that's not the one that called from down by the water. Let him get the running out of his system. We've got the glowing knocks. So, oh, he is still down there, and he may be coming this way. Yeah, it looked like a good hit. Should have been right in the pocket. He shouldn't go far. We're going to sit tight. That other one may be on his way in. That's why I made sure and use the bow, because if he wasn't the original elk we heard, wanted to make sure we didn't scare him off. He's kind of so-so. All right, let's police him up, and then let's go track down that other fella. He's about 2 years old. Good heart, lung, blood. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, left lung, right lung. Perfect shot. We'll get a trophy shot with him. Like to stand up the horns and kind of position myself where it kind of looks like I'm holding the horns up. Good enough. We'll find this other fella. I think this other one actually was a little bit better. Yeah, that's good heart lung. Pink and foamy. One of these will be his incoming and one will be his outbound. Yeah, here's outbound here. Might be him up on the hill there. I'd expect him to go a little bit farther. I think I only took his right lung. I don't think I caught his left lung at the angle he was at. But we got a good bleed, so he's not going to last long. Okay, that's a roaming track. That was his inbound track. There we go. Yeah, he's bleeding like crazy. He's not going far. The longer the bleed, the better off we are. And he's still bleeding. Wow. Yeah, I caught him clean. Kind of surprised we haven't run into him yet. With a bleed that heavy. Yeah, he's a tough old fella, no doubt about that. But like I say, I think I only took him through one lung. He was facing me pretty direct on. Roaming. Okay. Let's see if this is his original incoming trail or if he turned here. I really expected to find him by now. Could bump into a bear up in this direction. It's trotting and showing the other direction. Go up the hillside here. His tracks are acting odd. It's like he's got a direction he wants to go, but something's keeping him from going in that direction because he keeps turning back, but then he's still proceeding this way. Yeah, this may actually be his incoming trail down to the water. I think it is. I think this is his original incoming trail. And there's that buck. Let's check him. What have you done, Mr. Elk? I think I'm back on his original trail. I know these tracks are pretty close together. So this is most likely where he came up and out. And ended up back on the trail. All right, we've got blood. I think I'm back on the original blood trail. Yep. We're gonna cut across back to the hill. I think he may have actually crossed the road. Because as hard as he's bleeding, I have a damn hard time believing he's gone much farther than this. He was still fleeing here. And he was still fleeing here. If this track is roaming and it's facing funny, this is where it got squirreled. That was a dung pile. See this roaming track. Oh, the bear's down on the lake on the other side now. So here it's roaming. So this is the first point that we potentially could be on his old trail. So I'm actually gonna turn off and follow up this way and just see if maybe we got a trail break there. Hello, mushroom. Aha. So is this the early part of his incoming trail, or is this where he actually went? Because we've got another track up on the road there. A fair distance here. Roaming. If this is outward bound, we're back on his trail. And it is outward bound. So he went up the hill, I do believe. Seems a little out of sorts. We'll see what direction it's headed. Yeah, it's going down the hill, so I'm actually gonna take, yep. Take a look here, see which way this one's going. Yeah. I think we're back on him. See if this is headed downhill or uphill. I can't believe he's gone this far. Oh, tough old fella. No, that's not him. There's a female. Oh, actually, check that one. Yeah, I completely expected us to come across him by now. Get kind of thick in here. He's been pulling kind of a gentle arc to the right. So I'm going to follow that arc. Yeah, there we go. When we look at the X's, he hasn't been traveling in a straight line. He's been slowly arcing around. Still not seeing the crows that are doing all that calling. One thing that's nice about it is because he's back to roaming, he'll have a very consistent distance between his tracks. Would not be surprised if he actually did head down the hill here, because that's turning him back towards his original track line. So I'll come down and take a look. Following his arc, the track would be right down here somewhere. We're at about the right distance for it. I'm not seeing anything. I think he might have shook me. I think he might have shook me. That'd be a damn shame. Oh, by golly. I cannot believe he is still going. So most likely I hit him at the base of the neck, where the neck meets the body, because you'll get heart-lung blood there as well because of the large vein that runs down the neck. And they'll go quite a bit longer. Suppose I probably should check the scent suppressor here. See. Now there's that. I think this is one of the tracks that we picked up previously. So he is back on top of his original track again. There's that buck. He's over on the other shore. Yeah, at this point, he may have shaken me, because if he's headed back to his original track line and he's back to roaming, then all the tracks are going to be identical. Roaming tracks falling in the original state. Won't be able to differentiate. I'm gonna check down the hill here. Tough old bird and a sneaky old bird. Give my brain a rest from this for a minute. See if I can get eyes on this mule deer. Let's check and see if there's any sign of the elk back down here at the pond, since that's where his original tracks led. I got a feeling he's gone. I'm going to try to sort the tracks out from the midst of it all, but supposedly he's right there. And there he is. He's turned dead away from me now. Well, I got my elk, got my muley. Now I just need to get my grizzly. Grizzly bear, Pilgrim. He's nothing to write home about, but well, he's a 124. That's respectable. I'm kind of a little surprised he's a 124. Body, left lung, shoulder blade, good clean hit. If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly, I will follow him. Follow Squatch where he may go. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. Deeply appreciated. You know, actually, you know what? He's a whole hell of a lot better than I thought he was. Just his horns are kind of spindly, but won't you? Get a hold of his right horn and get his head up a bit. I can adjust me all over the place. He's the one that's a pain in the butt. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Well, what do we got? I owe it to the animal to get back on his trail and see if I can find him. Just the way it is. As a hunter, you don't leave a wounded animal out there. It may be a pain in my tuchus. Get up into the hill here. Alright, just making sure we're on the same trail. are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over where our initial blood was, and I'm going to see if we've got tracks outside of that blood trail. Okay. So there's our original blood. This is where he originally came in. There's all our blood patches where I hit him. Right here was where he was when I put the arrow in him. So I'm going to check for tracks out and about around this, because if he did come back in on his original trail and followed up, there's a chance that he deviated. That's blood, blood, blood. Blood. His original incoming track. Blood. I think he slipped me. I think he has managed to shake me up. The tracks are just so confused now that I in turn am likely also confused. I need to do a bio break real quick. I'm just gonna take a knee, let things calm down in this neck of the woods after that shot, and we'll keep trying for a little bit longer. But if I don't pick him up, then I'm gonna head upriver. Yeah, I think you're right, Jester. He beamed up. This is our original blood. This is his original incoming blood patch. Original incoming blood patch, I hit him. He fled out this way. And I believe this was blood up here. Yep. Basically, I'm just gonna check the perimeter of the track line, see if we've got any divergent tracks. I'm not seeing any divergent tracks. That's blood patch. Blood patch. Yeah, I think he's managed to ditch me. That is the track that leads down to our original hit point. Damn, I hate to leave a wounded animal out. Gonna run the perimeter of the track line here one last time here, looking for deviations up around the hilltop. So it's one of two things. Either as I was tracking him across the road and up that hill, I hit his original incoming trail, mistook it for his outgoing trail, and that's where I lost him. Or he did actually come back on his original trail, and too much scatter. Too much scatter, and I lost him. That's a bitter pill to swallow. Kind of pride myself on these things. Pride goeth before the fall. Yeah. All right. Just because I can't stand it, I'm going to head back up across the road, and I'm going to run the perimeter. So these are his original fleeing tracks. This was the first roaming track that we found. Wait a moment. 80+ minutes ago. Yeah, we already had that marked. We followed up, and his next track was here, and after that we had up on the hillside. Up there, and I just assumed that was our guy. That's I would expect that if I lost him, it was right here. Yeah, if I lost him over on this side of things. See, because this one speaks of an elk moving in this direction, but our next track we found was downhill. No perimeter deviation. Chanterelle. And here I had actually searched out along the perimeter this way and down below those rocks, came back up, picked up the track on the tree, and then followed it down to the track that's on the road, which is why I'm saying that I think that if I lost his trail, because it overlapped an incoming trail, see, because here it is at the base of the tree, and following that down, the track is down there on the road. Check one more spot. And I'm going to get back on the road because I don't think anybody can say that I haven't put in the effort. This is his original incoming path right here, because this is off of where we were tracking on. So we are most absolutely definitely back on his original incoming trail. I think I'm going to consider him to have outsmarted me. As you can see, my red trail, that's my traveling trail. It brings me down and runs me in a loop like that. He done fooled me. That's a damn shame. Not only was he a good-looking animal, but like I say, morally, I'm not sure that my bloodhound has been out enough to actually be able to track him. Now, this is a completely new track. Wouldn't that be funny as hell? Okay, so this is where he came across up the hill, arced over, arced down, went through, picked up our call and scent, and diverted. So that was exactly what we needed right there. That gave us his original entry point. And basically I'm going to get far enough off of this trail to read the arc on it, because I might be able to piece together which of these arcs is his original incoming arc. Yep, this is where he originally came in. And if we look at the hunter mate, he arced around clockwise, and the second trail, which is basically the lower circle of tracks, arced around clockwise, and they met right down there where the point of my little indicator is, and that's where they overlapped. So yeah, there's no way I'm gonna pick him back up out of that. Either I luck on to his body, or I give up. And quite frankly, the odds of searching the grid and coming across the body are pretty slim. I think we're gonna declare that him officially fooling me and get on with the hunt. Hey, Allie Webby. I just got done saying that the chances of me coming across him were absolute zero. And I think this is him laying right here. It is. It's him. Yeah. Shoulder blade left lung. Yeah, so as I thought, I only took one of his lungs. So he circled around back on his original track, continued to circle around on his original track, and was coming back to that hill a second time to re-engage his upper track line, and he gave up the ghost. Yeah, I should admit defeat more often. Well, let's get a trophy shot. He made us work hard enough for it. He's actually a much better looking fellow than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be about one step down horn-wise from this. Get the bow out since we took him with the bow. Whenever you're done sliding down the hill there, pal. How the hell do I have a hold of me instead of him? That way, huh? Guess we'll do it that way. There we go. That's a good shot. There went his trail. So yeah, we spent so much time following his trail that he literally circled back on it far enough to... That's bonkers. I love it. That's the kind of thing that makes me love this game. We're going to head down and run the back line of this shore down to the river. Yeah, I knew he was a better animal than the second one that we dropped on the spot, which is why I was so determined to find him. F3. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't even see what his score was. I was just so happy to have found him. I think I'm just going to stand up and trot this. This time of morning, we're generally not going to see any more animals down over here. They all came down, drank, and headed off into the woods. I'm going to be able to get up this or not. There we go. Sounds like he was in the field out there. There's a field when we topped this hill, if I remember correctly. May just overland it to the second water body, but I don't know, we'll see. It looks like he was actually in the woods up above the field. I don't like make uphill. Otherwise, I'd try to set up a patch here, but we're going to push up a little farther. Suppose I better check my scent suppressor. Yeah, there we go. See if I can push this hill. If I hit the crest, I'll see if I can call him in. He called it from just up ahead. Yeah, no, we're getting a guarantee on this one. He's just too good to be dicking around with arrows. He's just too good to be messing around with arrows. Yeah. Body, heart, shoulder blade, left lung. He's a 150. I can be happy with that. That rotation. Always tough to get these shots on a hillside. All right, let's get a look at the map. I think I am gonna drop a marker on this side of the hill on the lake over here. I'm gonna move to that point right there, and we're gonna head for our bear. I've gotten 2 elk and 2 mule deer. It's bear hunting time. haven't gone hot. Be able to walk it a little ways before we move back to a crouch. Another buck passed through there. Mule deer doe. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that second elk. Oh, technically it was my first elk I hit, but second elk I found. Pretty happy with him. Real happy with that first muley that I took. Quite satisfied with the second muley I took. Now if I can just get charged by a grizzly bear, I'll be happy. Not that I'm not happy already, but I'll be happier. Happiness is being charged by a grizzly bear when armed with a pointy stick. Probably won't see much of anything at all coming through here this time of day. I've got a tree stand set up on the far shore of that little pond that we're headed towards. And biggest elk that I've taken as far as Rocky Mountain elk goes, I took out of that tree stand on the hillside at the back of the little pond there. Nice. With that rain, we can get up and move. No running though, because the rain suppresses our noise and our scent. Early afternoon, this is good for elk up here. The biggest problem I have with this game is hunting elk. First thing that happens is when I get an elk is I think about just how good that elk would taste. I can say that as a carnivore, I love meat of all different sorts, but there is nothing in the world as good as elk. Buffalo is magnificent, venison is wonderful, bear is amazing. Believe it or not, bobcat is really good too. But there is absolutely nothing I love more than eating elk. Yeah, it gets a little too steep there. I think I can top it here. I will follow him, follow Squatch where he may go. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Makes me happy when I hear my silly little song. Ooh. Rediscovered trail. How the hell did you get all the way over here, pal? This is one of the tracks we picked up early on. I'm gonna just switch to my bow so that the last portion of that marker doesn't fade away till we get a little farther over here. I need to get in the tree line. My camo is doing me no good in this field. We're going to pause at the crest here, get another look at it, and see if we can figure them. We got some good wide open vistas here. It's a tiny channel with not a whole lot going on in the way of followers and all that stuff. Every time somebody makes that song play, it just thrills me to the bone. Give me another snort, you. I think he's actually up in the trees up top, somewhere up in there. If I get down the hill here without breaking my neck. Make it down and across the road and our camouflage will be good again. He's now down that way. He was moving fast. Yeah, just too thick down in there. Am I out? I am out. No more mule deer spray. See if we can turn him around or not. Don't have real high hopes on it. He was quite a ways out, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. Like that. Not, I think that was the same buck. So he went down and then he was circling around. I heard him. At least I assume it's him. Could have another one coming in behind me for all I know. Hit him high. I went for the heart shot, and the grass was deceptive. I hit him high. Damn it. So it's reading heart lungs, but I'm gonna give him a minute to get it out of his system. I think this should be his outbound here. That down there is his incoming. Hit him a little high. He's bleeding good. Just give things a minute here. Take a knee and give him a chance to slow down and walk and bleed out. Just can't help myself. Yeah, he was still at a dead run when he came through here. And should not be roaming this quickly. He should still be way too sprung. Just take a look up the hill here. Make sure we're not about to get ourselves back on a false track again. Because we've still got heart, lung, blood. I think he went up this way. Yeah. Yep. So that was his original incoming trail down there. Gonna walk mid-slope here just in case he went uphill. We got a downhill track there, but that could be part of his original, incoming trail. So just want to top this crest to get a look. All right, I'm not seeing anything. It makes sense based on his previous track line, but it's also right in alignment down the hill to that other track. Still fleeing, that's him. So that other track actually going back to roaming. Now we've got enough previous tracks for that roaming track to make sense. So going to roaming here, we've got enough tracks behind him for that to make sense. We had that other track down over here. I do believe. Doesn't make sense. Something's not right here. Does not make sense. was still fleeing at this point. And we do have that track over there, but it's... Oh, got a big cat out there. That just doesn't make sense based on how his track has been running. I'm going to check down this way just for the sake of my conscience. Because if you did go this way, there it is. There it is. It didn't make sense. I love the fact that my real world tracking knowledge applies in this game. Just gives me warm fuzzies. Makes me feel like I still know my shit. Because remember when I came across that initial roaming track, based on the fact that it was roaming in its direction, I said, this track goes back onto his original trail. Boy, he was still flying when he came through here. Now this gets a little bit rough though. Oh, is that him right up there? This gets a little bit rough because the sun's coming out, and that makes it a lot harder to see these tracks. But there he is, I do believe. Excellent. Makes me happy. He's nothing to write home about, that's for sure. Yeah, he's a little 55, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I put that arrow into his neck. That's actually the shot I was talking about with the previous buck, where you'll get heart-lung blood even though you're not in the heart and lungs. Never bothered to get any of the animal posing kits. Wouldn't mind it for some of the deer species. Picks his leg. Try to get his head up. But his horns are really light, so normally you can depend on the weight of the deer's head in conjunction with the fulcrum energy created by the horns to help pose him, but his horns are so small, his head doesn't want to rock on him as a pivot point. That'll have to do. I don't feel like screwing around all day with it. Okay, where the hell are we? We got quite a run to the pond yet. No. I'm gonna hoof it. Because I'm after bear, and running like this, there's a good chance the bear will go into threat mode if it hears me. And I think I've taken my fair share of elk and mule deer today. So unless I see an absolute monarch of the forest, I think we're going to call that good. It's bear time. There's a carcass out there someplace. You can hear the crows. Ridge runner. I are a ridge runner. I are a mountain man. I can knock down, drag out, whoopity man this side of hell. I got the ugliest dogs, the prettiest women, and the smelliest horse this side of hell. He's on the trail where we're going, so we might as well get a look at him. If he's a big old monarch of the forest, we'll pull him in. And if he's just an average fellow, we'll let him beat. Blue Jester says you'll be so buff by the time you get there you could choke that bear out with your bare hands. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but if you get a chance, watch an old film, a Robert Redford film called Jeremiah Johnson. It's based on a fellow who deserted from the army and took on the name Jeremiah Johnston, and they called him Liver-Eating Johnston because he went to war, at least according to his own stories, he went to war against the Blackfeet Indians, and when he'd kill one, he'd eat a piece of their liver. But, of course, most people think that that's probably just tall tales because he wrote a book and he was trying to sell that book. So at the end of the mountain man cowboy era, there were lots of them old fellas. They wrote their memoirs, and there were a lot of tall tales in those memoirs. He was right in this neck of the woods. But according to the story, he ended up in what they call a potlatch, which basically what it comes down to is an offering of gifts back and forth in which you try to outdo the other person. And supposedly a chief named Two Tongues LeBeau gave Jeremiah his daughter because Jeremiah offered him up horses and blankets and a bunch of other stuff. And his wife and another character in the movie, it's his adopted son, but in the book it was someone else, were killed by the Blackfoot Indians. And he went on the war trail to get revenge. So as to whether or not there's much reality to Jeremiah Johnston's autobiography, who knows? But the movie itself, damn fine movie. I identified less with Jeremiah Johnson than I did with Bear Claw Chris Lapp. Grizzly Bears, Pilgrim. He called from right out in there. I was hoping to get eyes on him and see if he's worth a hoot or not. I think he's just the other side of that hill. Right there. Right there, just like that. He's just over that ridge. See if we can get eyes on him. See if he is worth a hoot. With that pine there, if he comes over the top of the ridge right there, I'm not going to see him till he's descending. Here. 9:46. We actually should start seeing elk moving in the high country here now. They come down out of the high country around 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to come down and drink. Oh, there he is. Let's get a look at him. Oh, hello, gorgeous. I regret to inform you that I got some for you, special delivery. I can't call that hit. I know I hit him, but I can't call where I hit him. Shooting at that funny angle, I probably should have been higher on the pocket. But that, my friends, is one worth writing home about. Wanted to know whether he was worth a hoot? Well, woo, woo. Yeah. What's on the spit, Pilgrim? Grown particular. Just about who I eat with. Oh, I am not seeing blood. Okay, here we go. Well, where is it? There it is. Yep, body. God damn it. I thought it felt a little low. Should have pulled high on that pocket. The biggest problem we have now is the sun is up real bright. And except in the shadows, it's going to be damn hard to pick up his tracks. That's a damn shame. I've been trying to catch up with Hawkeye. I hunted my tree stand over there day after day after day after day, knowing that just a monster mule deer was going to come in some morning. And finally, I decided I'd share that location with Hawkeye. Brought him up in the tree stand, and the first thing he did is take a 225 mule deer. And I've been trying to catch it ever since. Where the hell did you go there, big feller? And I mean big feller. He was a monarch of the forest, no doubt about that. There it is. Down in a hole. No wonder I couldn't spot it. But not only had a hell of a rack of horns on him, but his weight estimate was really high as well. So, and the horns had a lot of girth. So you can have really long horns, but if they're thin, they don't score as high. And there was a lot of girth to those horns. I am gonna have to struggle for every single one of these tracks, I can tell already. The sun is high, it's gonna make them hard to see. And I have no idea what direction he was coming from, so I could be heading to his incoming trail, even as we speak. All right, he's still fleeing. All right, so what I'm doing, just as an insight, is I'm looking at the X's that have been laid down on his previous trail, and I'm looking for a pattern. I'm looking for straight lines, I'm looking for arcs, so that I can kind of anticipate where his next likely track is going to be. And the more tracks we pick up, the more information we're going to have, and the more we're going to be able to anticipate. So right now, he could be making a shallow arc around to the right, or he could be heading dead straight in this direction. We don't have quite enough input to determine which of the two it is. I think he's doing a shallow arc to the right, so I'm going to eliminate the straight path immediately by just walking it. And there's the next track. So he is taking that shallow arc. You can see now from the point where I hit him, there's a real shallow arc to the right. So that kind of helps me to recognize kind of the number of arc degrees that I'm likely going to find his tracks within. And still fleeing. That's good. As long as he's fleeing and we know they're the tracks we're after and not an old trail. It also means that the distance between his tracks is going to stay pretty consistent. Yep. Yeah, it's him. He is a good-looking fella. Let's see what we got here. 199. Oh, curse you, Hawkeye. You still have the record out of my stand. All right, but that is the best animal of the day. No two ways about it. Oh, I've only got 5 EM dollars left. I'd like to taxidermy him, but well, I'll spend the GMs. That's 2/3 of what I've got left for GMs. There's EMs and GMs. Yeah, wow. Buddy, you are a wonder. If those tines had been just a little bit thicker, he'd have been a 210 to a 225. He's pretty enough. I don't want him looking dead. I want him looking alive. Let's see what we've got for... Problem is we're on a hill, so I'm having trouble getting him in the frame. Down lower here. Come on. Not too shabby. So yeah, we're not too far from the lake now. Our markers. That was the winner of the day. So on this real steep slope here at the back of the water, right up at the top of the ridge, is where I took my personal best Rocky Mountain elk. Took him from right up there. For about the right time in the morning to run into a grizzly down by the lake. I have to say this is absolutely hands down one of my two favorite maps. They did such a good job of capturing the feeling of the high Rockies. Not expecting anything on the pond here this time of day. But I figure it's worth taking a look. You never know. Sometimes that's why the big ones are the big ones, is because they move and feed and do all the stuff at a time different than what people expect. All right. Right up there is my tree stand. We're going to go up over this ridge. I guess there's a Christmas event on a couple of the winter maps. There's my tent. Yeah, it was this lake where I took the blonde grizzly. And that elk literally called from exactly where I was going. So might as well get a look at him. See if we got any grizz out there. Time we actually got here. After 10 a.m., they may have all moved to the far side of the lake. That's a bit of a haul. The elk tend to bug out if there's grizzly around, so the fact that we heard that bull elk act, ho, 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 stop please. I lost sight of him. Where'd you go, big guy? He was cutting across. There he is. He's a good-looking fella. Is that 36 meters? That'd be a pretty serious Hail Mary with the bow. Yeah, he called back immediately on that one. Come on over here. I need you to come up 10 or 15 meters this direction. Comes. I'd like to keep it quiet. You know, walk right up and kiss me. I shot to cut his spine. Don't know if I succeeded or not, but he certainly went down like it. Yep. There we go. He's a 268. Still not quite what I was hoping for, but damn fine animal. bouncing down the slope. Bouncing up the slope. Damn it. Yeah, I can't. That'll have to do. Because I'm not going to spend all my time screwing around here. But the fact that he was over here says that most likely there are no grizz. Because they do respond to the wolves and the grizzly bears. Yeah, Jester, it does feel good to be back in here. I say I'd taken a good solid break from my hunting and fishing games because they were starting to feel more like work than play. And took a good long break. So I'm going to be, now that I'm simulcasting to YouTube and Twitch, and since the majority of my Twitch followers are followed because of my hunting and fishing videos, it behooves me to get back to them, and it's a perfect excuse to do it. Well, I'll walk my bear walk just 'cause, but I got a feeling that there's nothing on this end of things, because it's in these woods and open area here that I've taken every truly unique or large grizz that I've taken. And I like hunting them here because when they go to threat mode and they're going to charge you, you can see them nice and clearly and you can time your shot. Let me check the water hole down here. Yeah, genre. When you said you can ruin a Genry, I figured that was just a Scottish thing, you know? Possibly related to haggis. And for anyone who thinks that sounds racist, there's no such thing as the Scottish race. There's the Scottish people and the Scottish culture, Scottish food, Scottish music, Scottish all kinds of things, but there is no Scottish race. I am showing love to my brother from another mother. And we do that by making fun of each other. In some cases. Other times I pet him gently on the head and feed him crisps, but you know. I sure wish we knew more about the Picts. Such a fascinating people. What little we do have recorded properly about them. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to see any bears on this side. We've got some commentary from the Romans, and that's about it. And of course, the Romans always tried to portray themselves as the scions of civilization, and everybody else that they were fighting as absolute rabid barbarians. So yeah, I can say pretty confidently we're not going to run into bear over here. Yeah, probably in Scotland, you guys refer to flint and chert arrowheads and the tools that were actually left by the Picts as elf shot. Because they made very, very small arrowheads because chert was hard to come by and flint even more so. So they got very good at making small arrowheads. My English grandma, one time I was wearing a necklace with a small arrowhead on it. She looked at it and she's like, "Oh, where'd you get the elf shot?" Well, on a gun. I was really hoping for a bear. But for whatever reason, they're not over here. There could be Bruins off in that direction a ways. We'll walk it. We'll walk it. We'll see. But I think given the actual time of day here, in 10:36, we're probably just kind of now slipping into the zone where this area down here is not going to have much of anything for us. Because if there were a lot of grizzly around down here, we wouldn't have run into that elk. Yeah, fairy shot. Set my marker to that last point, and we'll walk it and we'll see. Moderate possibility of elk in the lower slopes of the hills, but gonna have to get at least half a kilometer out and away yet before we can be sure that, you know, there could be bear based on that elk. And I need to get myself up in the trees too. We're going to run this ridge line here. But yeah, I believe on White Rime, they've got a winter event going on, harvesting reindeer. I don't think I ended up getting Rudolph last year, because they do have, on rare occasion, red-nosed reindeers you can encounter. Yeah, we had that boar, that male bear that we got the calls from right at the beginning of the hunt, but we've literally not seen a track or heard a sound since, which is another reason why I'm not holding out a lot of hope. Because usually if there's a lot of bear down over here, we'll encounter 2 or 3 bears, or at least see signs of bears on the way down here. And again, where I am right now, usually by the time I arrive at this point, we've got clear sign. We've either got tracks or we've heard them huffing and chuffing and stuff. Like I say, I'm going to walk it because there's always that one dude who doesn't run with the in crowd, and he's got to be off doing his own thing at weird times, so you never know. Yeah, Jester, absolutely. They're opportunistic omnivores just like we are, and they tend to wander a circuit. And depending on the season, that circuit changes significantly based on the foods that are available. And we don't really have a solid timeline on this. I would guess that it's September on this map, late September. So that's when you start to see some of the trees turning, but not all the trees turn. The birches turn early, and it is noted as a fall map, so I would say late September, maybe the first week of October. Yeah, I think we're going to be bearless. But I'm happy we got several respectable elk. Got a couple of real decent mule deer. One was kind of a little fella, but that 199 certainly tickled my happy bone. Especially because I was able to make the shot that I tried to make. Because if I'd have tried to do a lung shot, I'd have only been able to catch one lung. And if I didn't catch that shot right, I'd have been chasing him for a week. So taking the next shot and severing his spinal cord was just the safer bet. Yeah, there's the white boulder I use as kind of my marker. And now we're getting into the low hills here. So I think we can pretty much say no bear on this trip. That's all right. I'm happy with what we got. Certainly a beautiful map, and I had a ton of fun. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a stream. You're a stream. And I'm definitely going to be back. I thought I was going to be doing 7 days to die at 5 Eastern with the Bloodies Buddies. It'd be about 2 hours from now. But it sounds like they're actually going to be doing it bi-weekly. So I think I'm going to shut her down and make a pot of coffee and make some smokes and check my email and that kind of stuff and try to get a confirmation on whether or not we're doing 5 o'clock 7 days to die. And if we're not doing 5 o'clock 7 days to die, then I'll probably be back within the next 30 minutes and maybe I'll fire up Fishing Planet, or I don't know. I'll have to see what takes my fancy when I look in Steam. And that can be complicated because I've got about 350 games. Well, 330, I shouldn't exaggerate. But I've had a blast. Thank you so much for joining me for a hunt in the Hunter Classic, which I gotta admit I still like more than Call of the Wild. And I will, either way, I'll be back and probably be back sooner rather than later. Probably about 30 minutes maybe. I'll see you then.